All right, rare footage of me buying Bulldog here, and that's because we're in the golden pack. And for some reason I already had 6 Bulldogs on turn 3, so I decided to go for a couple of level ups to see what I got. There are a whole ton of 5 of a kinds that I've never had in the golden pack. I was playing it quite a lot when it, the first month or so. And obviously it was a lot easier back then. Partly because of the influx of players, I guess, but also just because people didn't necessarily know the best combos, how best to position your team and which pets went together the best. And, life was just a lot easier. But now, pretty much the only people left in there are the dedicated players. And a lot of the time, they're just going to play the strongest possible teams. Although I have seen some really interesting teams lately. I don't know if any of them show up in this video, but at some point I'll probably show a clip of one of them. Whether it's in this video or another one, I'm not sure. But we go up against another sea turtle team, and the sea turtle's ability is kind of, I don't know, I guess it's okay, but it feels like it needs something else to complement it. Like, if you're playing it in customs, you're probably playing horse and sea turtle, and then maybe later turkey and sea turtle, or they'll probably, by the time you get to that point, you should just be selling the turtle because, you're better off having more space for summons. And while things like horse and turkey can get by themselves, I'm not really sure that sea turtle qualifies under that category. But I get the sea lion, and I'm just going to go for penguin plus sea lion for as long as possible. I think I'm going to freeze the penguin here for next turn in the hopes of finding octopus or... Actually, yeah, it has to be octopus because sea turtle isn't a faint pet, so you can't use cockatoo. I don't know if there's 10 or 11 tier 7s, but it's generally, this is part of the reason why trying to do these golden pack 5 of a kinds is so punishing, because there are, your odds of hitting the pets that you need are so poor. So here I do get the level 3 penguin. We get the cockatoo, which is no good this time. There's plenty of times when I've had the 5 faint pets attempt and not gotten the cockatoo, but it's wasted this time. And now I'm just looking for waffle for more level ups to potentially find octopus, and then maybe bird of paradise later on. One benefit of the sea turtle is that it has amazing starting health. And health is at a premium in Golden Pack. Your options are very poor. When the Golden Pack first came out, African Penguin gave, I don't know if it was +1/+2 or +2/+1, but it was, instead of the distributed attack, it was concentrated. So you could just buff one unit to be huge quite quickly. But now, you find it very difficult to get, usable health stats onto early game pets. But because the sea turtle has very good starting stats, that's not so much of an issue. Now here we get a bit unlucky there, but what can you do? And I'm freezing the chocolate just in case I can somehow get bird of paradise soon. I think I could just take the level on the sea lion, which I do. +2 health is just so good, and really need the penguin to hit the 3rd position sea turtle a couple of times to get its attack up. The problem with what I've got going here, the sea lion plus penguin setup, is it becomes very, very difficult to get rid of both the penguin and the sea lion and compensate for the scaling. So even if I found Bird of Paradise, it would be very difficult to sell a 21/8 and a 6/14 at this point. So here I do get the octopus, and now I'm not sure if it's worth it, because the turtle, the penguin is giving +9 attack for every waffle, but in the end I decided I have to go for it, and we're going to sell so we get the 1.5 quite quickly. Again, it's difficult here. I'm thinking about sea lion level up, mainly because we're on turn 10 and I've only got 4 trophies, so I know there's a long way to go. And then I passed up the chocolate because I don't want to use the chocolate on the octopus, because we can only get, we can only buy 4 more octopuses and stack them. So buying the chocolate would actually waste one of those. And we want as many ways to trigger the scaling as possible. So luckily here it's just a level 1 Cobra. Cobra definitely becomes a big problem later on, but around about turn 9 and 10, it's very rare that it's going to be doing major damage. So we take the traditional eggplant here and we get the perfect level up on the octopus and the waffle. And now our stats are starting to look pretty solid. However, we have no abilities, which is also partly why we went for the eggplant. And actually here you can see the effect where if there's an empty slot there, the eggplant doesn't actually fire at all, so it's still on the unit. I don't think I'd ever seen that before. And the egg gets the kill for the falcon. That was quite funny. I think definitely take Tomato here. Although I think Tomato's usefulness kind of doesn't last that long, in terms of actually sniping something, because usually whatever it is at the back is going to have potato on it, or it's just going to have more than 8 health. So usually you need like 2 or 3 tomatoes to actually potentially kill a grizzly bear or something like that. And then it's only for a very short period. So we activate the pita there, which is nice. And I've seen quite a lot of Secretary Bird teams recently. In fact, I was talking earlier about strange teams. Maybe I'll find the clip of that and put it at the end of this video, but there was a very unusual team I went against going for another 5 of a kind. Hopefully I still have the recording. So if it doesn't show up at the end, it's because I couldn't find it. We get another waffle and freeze another one up. And we roll the double octopus, which is very good. And now we're getting to the point where we, even though finding the octopus is good, freezing them is very painful because we need the slots for finding them more turtles. Here we faced Nurse Shark team, but we ruined their setup there with the vaquita getting pulled to the front. So 8 wins. We get an incredible scaling turn, which gives me some kind of hope that if I do manage to roll double turtle, I'll be able to sell the other 2 units and potentially win. Another Nurse Shark team, and this time they have it the other way around. And yeah, I think we're going to win anyway. I'm not sure if that swap made any difference there, or if we just happened to have good enough stats. Another waffle, but I'm on 9 wins now, and I think I'm just going to roll down. And we do find an octopus, which I might as well take because I can always sell it for 3 gold. And another waffle. So I think I just spend it here, and we're basically going to just hope for the draw or loss. We do have 3 hearts. So now this is the point where I'm considering just selling everything. So sell sea lion, sell octopus. The problem is that if I do then get another turtle, I've got no way to scale it. So I'll just be putting 2 base stats turtles in and hoping to give them equipment. So I think in the end, after a lot of debate, I end up compromising and selling the sea lion. So selling a 4128 is, you would think would be good enough to throw, but to be even more sure, I'm going to put the eggplant to the front. And then we're just going to hope for next turn some kind of miracle where I get an extra 2 turtles and I can buy a couple of waffles before selling the octopus. We get matched with this team, which, you have to applaud them going for the full abilities team with the beluga that has the slug inside for the maximum dart frog triggers. They've got the level 3 secretary bird as well. However, in the face of the massive stats and no abilities, it actually makes no difference, despite me having a 4 squad. But we get the octopus consolation prize, so I'll have to have another go at that sometime. Now here is the clip I mentioned. This is me going for 5 opossums, similar idea, turn 11, 1 heart, and we get matched with this ultra low stats team. Their highest stat is 8. The lizard starts on 4-8, and they've got double slug, double monkey, and level 1 surgeonfish, which means that the lizard finishes on 28-38 there. You have to hold your hands up and say, well done to that player.